Hi all, welcome to BRR Knowledge Center. And in this today's session, we'll talk about xUnit.net. So in earlier sessions, we talk about several topics on .net, and in this session, we'll talk about xUnit. So this xUnit is an open source framework where we can write unit test for your development code, as like how we have written for NUnit and MS test in the earlier sessions. Similar way, in the latest .NET framework is supporting this xUnit like .NET Core and .NET Core 2 and even latest framework .NET 6.0 framework. So this is a free open source testing tool for .NET and where developers can write tests for their applications. So nowadays, it is very essential a testing framework that provides a set of attributes to unit test the block of code. So we can use to write the test code for unit of code or of our application's entire code. Some of attributes we can use it as part of xUnit and decorate those attributes like if you look at in the xUnit, we have a fact, a theory, and inline data. So these are the main attributes we have in xUnit. So using those attributes, we can decorate them on top of your unit test case and use it, and it's going to execute your block of code and showcase the result of your unit test, right? Let's quickly get into this and see like what are the attributes we have as part of xUnit, and then we'll get into the demonstration after this explanation of attributes. Okay, uh, let's get into this. I'm just opening my notepad here, and here, as I mentioned, so xUnit is an open source, so we can use it as part of testing your .NET development. So as I mentioned, so we have some attribute as part of xUnit. Okay, so the first one was a fact. This is the first attribute we need to decorate. So how we are decorating this was like simply a fact. This way you need to decorate. And the purpose of this fact attribute was this states that the method should be executed by the test runner. We can say that this attribute states that the method should be executed by the test runners, right? So this indicates this method, whatever method you are decorating with fact attribute, that states that a method should be executed by the test runner when you run at execution of your unit test. And another attribute was theory. So this is another attribute, and this we can mention it as a theory. This way we need to decorate. This attribute implies that we are going to send some parameters to our testing method. So this attribute implies that we are going to send some parameters to the test method. So if you wanted to pass some parameters with some hardware values or some other input stuff you wanted to pass to your test method, you must use a theory as part of xUnit. So it is simpler, it is similar to the fact attribute, like the decorating of this theory. So it is similar to fact attribute. That's how it is decorating on top of your method, because it states that the method should be executed by the again test runner. The test method should be executed by the test runner as like fact, but additionally the implies that we are going to send parameter to the test method, implies that we are going to send parameters to the test method. This is only the difference of the theory attribute of xUnit. So the syntax of this theory is similar to fact. That means this states that this method is going to be executed by test runner, but additionally it implies that some parameter is passing to the test method. Okay, and coming to the next one, so that is inline data. This is the another attribute we would like to discuss here as part of xUnit. So this also you can simply decorate like inline data of some parameter value you need to pass in the double quotes. Okay, so that way it is passing your input value to the declared parameter in the method. So this this is how you decorate. So this attribute provides uh, those parameters we are sending to the test method. Those parameters we are decided to sending to the test method. That means in place of theory, we must use this inline data. So theory indicates that some parameters are passing to your method. To pass a parameter, we must use inline data. So these two are relevant. So these two are related. Okay, fact is something like it's only indicating that method is going to be executed by test partner, test runner. But when it comes to theory and inline data, both are in no, both must be declarated. So we cannot no decorate theory alone and inline data alone. If you are decorating a theory, sorry, spelling was wrong. If you're decorating theory, you must decorate inline data, because without using inline data, we cannot pass a parameter value. Okay, so if we are using the theory attribute, we must use inline data. That's what uh, the syntax of xUnit. So we have to use the inline data. Okay, so these three are the common or no important attributes which we can use it as part of xUnit unit test framework. So and using these decorators, we must write your unit test as part of your application development. So regarding xUnit support, I think I already told you it provides support for .NET Core and latest framework of .NET 6.0. So it also supports .NET Framework 4.52 also. That means you can write xUnit test cases from .NET Framework 4.5.2 or later. It supports uh, .NET Framework 4.5.2 or later. So you still use this xUnit from the .NET Framework 4.5.2. So as I said, the again this xUnit provides with a lot of assertion methods that we use to validate our production code as we progress through the series. Okay, so this is all about I wanted to tell about the xUnit. So even we have different aspects, different frameworks in .NET. So let us say in .NET, so we have three types of uh, unit test framework, like MS test. This is one framework we have, and xUnit and unit. Okay, these are three frameworks we have basically in MS.NET. So, but the xUnit was the latest version for .NET Core and other latest frameworks. Even though the MS test or NUnit both are allows us to test our code in consistent way, So xUnit is basically an open source test framework. So, and the main focus of this framework is on extensibility and flexibility. So I can say that this xUnit was next version of NUnit. So and it also open source. So still you can use NUnit or MS Test or xUnit. But only thing was xUnit have facilities like it's open source framework and can be extendable on other frameworks. So I'll demonstrate this unit test cases creation and run through .NET Visual Studio 2020 IDE and see like how they are going to execute as part of running your application. So I'll check that and I'll write those test cases in the next sessions. Please subscribe this channel and don't miss this practical part. Thank you.